Thanks for joining, everybody. Nick Vance here. Appreciate you guys watching. Today, I actually just got done talking with my wife, and I had a really good conversation with her. We were talking about how to communicate with our children, and when we were talking about it, it talked about three good questions. We read an article, and it talked about three good questions that we should ask our children every single day. One of the questions that it talked about and said that we should ask not only our children, but we should ask ourselves is, how did you fail today? And it got me thinking. I was actually we were talking, and then I had to head out to a meeting, so here I am heading to my meeting. But it got me thinking about failure. And I've said this before, I hated school growing up, all life. Even now, if I had to go back to school, there would be some serious problems because I hate it that much. I love to learn, but I hate being told what to learn or how to learn. For me, when I want to learn something, it's as simple as pick up a book or find a book that talks about what I want to learn. Anyway, so in school, you are penalized for failing. And as you fail in school and are penalized over and over, it ingrains in you as a child that failing is bad. And so I really want to talk about two things. First, I want to talk about why we should fail. And two, I want to talk about how we should fail. There's a bad way to fail. That's for sure. There's definitely a bad way to fail. But failing can be imperative for your growth as an individual and just as a person and to your success. So the one thing I have learned is, as I've read books and as I've studied people that have achieved the dreams that they set out to achieve in their life, they're the ones that failed the most. Every single story is about people who failed. They failed over and over and over. And the reason why we should fail is because when we fail, we are growing. We're learning what we're learning. Well, that doesn't work. What I just did, that doesn't work. Or something in that, whatever I was doing, some part of that was not working. What's his name? Thomas Edison said when he was trying to invent the light bulb, he had failed over 1,000 times, and someone had asked him, I can't remember exactly the exact phrase of the question, but they asked him how he could persist after having failed so over and over so many times. And his response was that he didn't fail 1,000 times, he just learned how not to do something 1,000 times. And I think it was on his 1,004th try, he finally achieved his success. So failing is not a bad thing at all. Failing is a fantastic thing, or failing can be a fantastic thing. It will teach you what doesn't work. And if you want to learn what works, failing is imperative. In fact, one of the things that I think is too much success is it's going to come back and haunt you. And I'm a basketball fan, and this last year, it was the kind of phenomenal season for the Golden State Warriors. They broke the record for the most games won in a season. It looked like they were just going to walk their way to the championship. But the Cleveland Cavaliers had something to say about that and beat them. even though the Cleveland Cavaliers were down in the series 3-1, and it never happened in the history of basketball. A team had overcome that in the NBA Finals. The Cavaliers actually did that. Anyway, sometimes too much success will make you soft and will kind of make you think you're better than you really are. So be careful with that. The second thing I wanted to talk about is how to fail. You have to fail forward. You actually have to learn from your mistakes. Watching a little documentary just about NFL players and their success and the players that succeed and the players that don't, the one thing that they said about the potential success of a player is they usually are able to tell in the first year, maybe 2 years at most, but they can usually tell within 1 year if a player is going to be successful or not. And the way they know is when a player fails and is corrected and said, this is what you did wrong and this is how to overcome it and this is what to correct. The players that succeed and last in the NFL are the players that quickly, immediately fix their errors. That is how you need to fail. So remember, failing is a very good thing.